The Weekly Podioplex will begin after this short podcasting promotional.
Good things come in 52s. There are 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year. The B-52s? There's this comic book reboot thing DC is doing. Okay, so there really aren't that many. But one thing that does come in a bundle of 52 is my ebook giveaway. This is the year of 52 weeks of indie. If you go to 52.scottroche.com, you'll see all the books I've given away, an excellent way to learn about new authors, and you can enter to win the ebook for the current week. It's usually as simple as dropping a comment on the blog, so if you'd like to win an ebook or just find out about some awesome independent authors, stop on by.
This is Michael Falkner, and it's showtime at the February 7th, 2012 edition of the Weekly Podioplex, brought to you by the Chronic Rift. Starting with the box office report, this weekend's rundown kicks off with number 10, and extremely loud and incredibly close, down 4 from 6th. In 9th place is Man on a Ledge, down 4 from 5th. At number 8 is The Descendants, holding its position after 12 weeks in release. In 7th place is Red Tails, down 3 from 4th. And in 6th place is One for the Money, down 3 from 3rd. At 5th place, we have Underworld Awakening, taking in $5.5 million as it slips 3 places from 2nd. The vampire film now stands at $54.2 million total. At 4th is new release Big Miracle, diving in with $7.8 million on the opening weekend. In comparison, Dolphin Tale opened with $19.1 million. In 3rd place is last week's winner, The Grey, fighting for another $9.3 million toward its total of $34.6 million. In 2nd is new release The Woman in Black, scaring up $20.9 million to start its theatrical run. Following the trend of releasing teen horror movies on Super Bowl weekend, The Woman in Black is 2nd place all-time to When a Stranger Calls in its $21.6 million start. The movie is also the best ever for CBS Films. In 1st place this week is new release Chronicle, barely edging out the competition with $22 million. That's the 4th highest Super Bowl weekend debut ever, and 2nd best among movies aimed at men, coming in behind Taken's $24.7 million beginning. In the found footage genre, it came in behind Cloverfield's $40 million, The Devil Inside's $33.7 million, and the previous 2 Paranormal Activity entries. Closing out the box office report, let's take a look at what was winning in the box office in years gone by. 5 years ago, in 2007, Norbit was the top film at $34.1 million. 10 years ago, in 2002, Collateral Damage was number 1 with $15 million. 20 years ago, in 1992, Medicine Man was the top at $8.5 million. 30 years ago, in 1982, On Golden Pond was still holding on to that top spot at $8.2 million. And 40 years ago, in 1972, it was The Hot Rock at $2.6 million. The week of February 10th brings a handful of new releases to the box office, starting with Safe House, an action crime movie starring Denzel Washington, Ryan Reynolds, and Robert Patrick.
He was one of the most brilliant CIA operatives we ever had, until he went rogue.
He's responsible for the deaths of multiple agents.
This guy's just not going to walk into an American consulate without good reason.
So what's new in Cape Town?
I heard a slot open up.
One slot with 37 applicants, every one of them with more field experience than you.
How am I supposed to get more experience? I'm staring at 4 walls all day. This is Weston.
We have a last-minute reservation.
Oh my God. That's Tobin Frost.
Kill all the surveillance cameras in this room.
Is this legal?
Rule number 1, you are responsible for your house guest. I'm your house guest. They're here for me, but they want me alive. You they'll kill. Time's a wasting. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Hey!
Get in. You serious?
Yeah. Get in the trunk!
Somebody to a king to a guy. The safe house has been compromised. Follow protocol.
Protocol? There's no protocol for this!
It's a guy to a 9
Who's after us and why?
I think you need to consider how your safe house was attacked in the first place. That house was a secure location. Whoever crashed it, they were invited. Someone told them, someone you know.
You're not gonna get in my head.
I'm already in your head.
Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Coliseum floors.
So they're working together?
Even disguised as a feast.
I think Weston's turned.
I'm not your only enemy tonight.
Yeah, the money we can't keep, but we probably spend it all because the pain ain't cheap.
You can stay blind, or you can open your eyes.
I'm taking you in.
I want you to take me in.
A young CIA agent is tasked with looking after a fugitive in a safe house. But when the safe house is attacked, he finds himself on the run with his charge. Safe House is rated R. Next we move on to The Vow, a romantic drama starring Rachel McAdams, Channing Tatum, and Sam Neill.
I vowed to live within the warmth of your heart.
I promise to never forget that this is a once-in-a-lifetime love.
Security. I now pronounce you man and wife. Kiss, run!
Life's all about moments of impact.
You want to go see a movie?
No.
Move in. Yes.
And how they change our lives forever. What if one day you could no longer remember any of them?
Kate, you're in the hospital. You were in a car accident.
Any pain?
My head hurts.
I'll get you something for that.
Was anyone else hurt, Doctor?
Hey, you know who I am, right?
Yeah?
Okay, good.
You're my doctor.
She doesn't remember me.
Her memory is going to improve with time.
Come home with me. We'll figure this out together.
I don't know you. I barely even know who I am.
I need to make my wife fall in love with me again. I'll always love you. The fact is that you're just meeting me, and I'm just a stranger.
I hope one day I can love the way that you love me.
How do you look at the girl you love and tell yourself it's time to walk away? I vow to love you, and no matter what challenges might carry us apart, we will always find a way back to each other.
A car accident puts Paige in a coma, and when she wakes up with severe memory loss, her husband Leo works to win her heart again. The Vow is rated PG-13. Next we go on a journey. In fact, it's Journey 2, The Mysterious Island, an adventure film starring Josh Hutcherson, Dwayne Johnson, and Michael Caine.
We need someone to take us to an island located here.
That's the deadliest part of the ocean. There is no island there.
Ooh, baby, easy peasy. Let's go.
Oh! That's my security system.
I'd rather take the Titanic.
Here's the deal. A few nights ago, a radio signal got sent out from these coordinates. It could be the mysterious island that Jules Verne wrote about.
You think you're gonna travel halfway around the world and meet up with some lunatic who's messing around on ham radio?
It's not some lunatic. It's my grandfather. He's been looking for Mysterious Island for over half of his life.
Where are we?
Hey, I think I found a way off the beach.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you
the Mysterious Island.
This is heaven. I'm checking in.
This is amazing.
Well, don't just stand there. Grandpa!
Who's up for an adventure?
What is this place?
Atlantis.
Mountain of gold.
I can't believe it.
In 2 weeks, we'll be on the cover of Time magazine.
This is amazing! Oh!
Let me warn you, this island is full of dark jungles and terrifying creatures.
That's emasculating.
What was that?
The This island's about to go under.
How much time do we have?
2-3 hours max. These aren't rocks, they're eggs.
We just need to move carefully. Lizards have an incredible sense of smell.
If we get torn to bits, I'm blaming you.
Way to slay the heart. Getting the attention of a woman is one of the hardest things to do. So you've got to do this.
What is that?
The peck pop of love. Now go on and throw a berry.
Oh.
In this sequel to 2008's Journey to the Center of the Earth, Sean Anderson partners with his mom's boyfriend on a mission to find his grandfather, who is thought to be missing on a mythical island. Journey to the Mysterious Island is rated PG. Next up is Rampart, a crime drama starring Woody Harrelson, Ben Foster, and Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, firm. I just want to make sure you're going to be...
Videotape civil rights authorities hold LGBT brutality
I am not a racist. Fact is, I hate all people equally.
You could just stop beating people up.
Have you seen anything unusual lately?
Not a damn thing.
You are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in this bar.
I gotta go.
You have to stay.
I can prove that your shooting was dirty, just like I can prove you dirty.
You can't just walk in the house like you still live here.
You were a dirty cop, and you dirtied all of us up by default.
Have you thought about retirement?
If you force me to retire, I'll have my own show on Fox News inside 1 week. You'll be my first guest.
Say you have thought about
The laws change, the people change, but not you. Why is that? Go home and pack a bag. Save that for the jury.
I told her everything.
Oh, yeah, the women and the booze.
You gotta let us go.
I'll never let you go. No man who ever shoots another man is entirely cogent in the moment.
Did you learn that with the first man you killed?
You're either lying to me or you're withholding. This is what I do.
The only thing that's wrong here is that a camera caught him doing police work.
Set in 1999 Los Angeles, veteran police officer Dave Brown, the last of the renegade cops, works to take care of his family and struggles for his own survival. Rampart is rated R. And last on the wide release slate, we have Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in 3D! A sci-fi fantasy film from 1999 starring Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, and Natalie Portman.
The greatest saga of all time is coming to the big screen in spectacular 3D. Experience the wonder.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force.
The excitement.
You believe it's this boy?
The Force is unusually strong with him.
The adventure.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Oh my!
This February, experience Star Wars like never before.
Whoa! Just hang on!
Wipe them out. All of them.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace 3D. Only on the big screen, February 10th, 2012.
In this 3D re-release, 2 Jedi Knights uncover a wider conflict when they are sent as emissaries to the blockaded planet Naboo. This is the beginning of a project by Lucasfilm to release the entire Star Wars saga, 1 film per year, in the popular 3D format. Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace is rated PG. In limited release, we have Perfect Sense, a romantic drama starring Ewan McGregor, Eva Green, and Ewan Bremner. A chef and a scientist fall in love as an epidemic begins to rob people of their sensory perceptions. Perfect Sense is not rated. Also in limited release, we have The Turin Horse, a drama from Hungary starring Janos Durzi, Erika Bach, and Mihaly Kormos. A rural farmer is forced to confront the mortality of his faithful horse. The Turin Horse is not rated and is opening in New York City. Next up, we take a look at the February 7th home entertainment slate, which kicks off with The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1, a fantasy drama starring Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner. The Quillettes close in on expecting parents Edward and Bella, whose unborn child poses a threat to the wolf pack and the townspeople of Forks. Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1 is rated PG-13. Next up, we have an animated film about dogs and love. It's Lady and the Tramp, the Diamond Edition, a family film from 1955 starring Barbara Luddy, Larry Roberts, and Peggy Lee. This is the romantic tale of a sheltered uptown Cocker Spaniel dog and a streetwise downtown mutt. Lady and the Tramp is rated approved by the Motion Picture Association of America from 1955. Next up is The Phantom of the Opera at Royal Albert Hall, a live opera performance starring Raman Karimloo and Sierra Boggess. In celebration of the 25th anniversary of Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera, Cameron Mackintosh produced a unique, spectacular staging of the musical on a scale which had never before been seen. Inspired by the original staging by Hal Prince and Gillian Lynn, this lavish, fully staged production set in the sumptuous Victorian splendor of London's legendary Royal Albert Hall features a cast and orchestra of over 200, plus some very special guest appearances. The Phantom of the Opera at the Royal Albert Hall is not rated. Next, we have another chance for that 3D format. It's A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas, a comedy starring Kal Penn, John Cho, and Neil Patrick Harris. 6 years after their Guantanamo Bay adventure, stoner buds Harold Lee and Kumar Patel cause a holiday fracas by inadvertently burning down Harold's father-in-law's prized Christmas tree. A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas is rated R. Next, we have Anonymous, a drama thriller starring Rhys Ifans, Vanessa Redgrave, and David Thewlis. Anonymous is a political thriller advancing the theory that it was, in fact, Edward de Vere, Earl of Oxford, who penned Shakespeare's plays, set against the backdrop of the succession of Queen Elizabeth I and the Essex Rebellion against her. Anonymous is rated PG-13. Next on our list is The Sunset Limited, an HBO drama film from 2011 starring Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. Based on a play by the same name, The Sunset Limited is about 2 men in an apartment with their opposing beliefs. The Sunset Limited is not rated. Next, we take a look at Project Nim, a documentary starring Bob Angelini, Nim Chimpsky, and Bern Cohen. Project Nim tells the story of a chimpanzee taken from its mother at birth and raised like a human child by a family in a brownstone on the Upper West Side in the 1970s. Project Nim is rated PG-13. Next, we have Geek Charming, a Disney comedy film from 2011 starring Sarah Hyland, Matt Prokop, and Sasha Pierce. Dylan Schoenfield is the pink princess of the upscale Los Angeles Woodlands Academy. She has the coolest boyfriend, the most popular friends, and a brand new It bag that everyone covets. But when she accidentally tosses her Sergei Sanchez bag into a fountain, this princess comes face to face with her own personal fraud, a self-professed film geek named Josh Rosen. In return for rescuing Dylan's bag, Josh convinces Dylan to let him film her for his documentary on high school popularity. Reluctantly, Dylan lets F-list Josh into her A-list world, and is shocked to realize that sometimes nerds can be pretty cool. This release also contains 10 bonus episodes of the Disney TV series Shake It Up. Geek Charming is not rated. And last on the main release list, we have Cyberbully, a drama starring Emily Osment, Kay Panabaker, and Megan Rath. Teen girl Taylor Hillridge gets a laptop for her birthday and signs on to a social networking site, but soon begins to feel alone as her friends ostracize her and she falls victim to cyberbullying. Cyberbully is not rated. Moving right along to TV on DVD, we kick things off with Masterpiece Classic, Downton Abbey Season 2, the original UK unedited edition, starring Hugh Bonneville, Laura Carmichael, and Jim Carter. Season 2 of the Emmy Award-winning Downton Abbey returns as the Great War rages across Europe, and not even the serene Yorkshire countryside is free from its effects. The men and women of Downton are doing their part, both on the front lines and the home front, but the intensity of war only serves to inflame the more familiar passions love, loss, blackmail, and betrayal. Next on our list is the Father Dowling Mysteries of the first season, starring Tom Bosley, Tracy Nelson, and Mary Wicks. Father Frank Dowling is a fine Catholic priest in a Chicago parish who drives his housekeeper Marie to despair with his habit of being late to dinner. You see Father Dowling and his right-hand streetwise nun Stephanie, Steve Oskowski, who hails from a criminal neighborhood, keep playing sleuth and solve numerous crimes in the neighborhood, usually involving at least one murder and generally outsmarting the police as well as the criminals. And our last TV on DVD release this week is Rocko's Modern Life, Season 2, starring Carlos Alazraqui, Tom Kenny, and Charles Adler. Rocko, Spunky, and Heifer are back for another series of warped tales and surreal moments in modern life as they know it. Season 2 misadventures involve a ski resort, a bad hair day, camping, a Christmas special, appendicitis, and more. Finally, for the first time on DVD, you can get all of Rocko's Season 2 antics and exploits to enjoy whenever you want. Up next, we take a look at the titles coming to Netflix streaming for the week of February 5th through February 11th. February 5th kicks off with Ta Ra Rumpum, a 2007 comedy from India starring Saif Ali Khan, Rani Mukherjee, and Mayanek Amin. Rajveer Singh works as a pit stop crew worker at the New York Speedway and dreams of becoming a race car driver himself one day. Fate has a pleasant surprise in store for him when he's selected as the driver for a down-and-out team called the Racing Saddles. Tara Rumpun is not rated. Also on February 5th, we have Bunti Aur Babli, a 2005 comedy from India starring Abhishek Bachchan, Rami Mukherjee, and Amitabh Bachchan. Two mismatched characters go on a wild road trip in Uttar Pradesh and, while being dogged by a policeman, fall in love. Bunti Aur Babli is not rated. On February 6th, we start with The Perfect Age of Rock and Roll, a musical drama from 2009 starring Lucas Haas, Kevin Zegers, and Jason Ritter. A rock star retreats to his hometown after his sophomore album flops. The Perfect Age of Rock and Roll is rated R. Also on February 6th, we have Lilyhammer, the crime drama television series from 2011 starring Steve Van Zandt, Tron Falsa Arvok, and Marion Sostad Otson. Frank Tagliano is a former member of the New York mob. After testifying in a trial in the United States, Tagliano was relocated to Lillehammer in Norway through the FBI's Witness Protection Program. The transition from being a feared and respected gangster in New York to becoming an unemployed immigrant in Norway is not simple, and Frank discovers that to get up and in the Norwegian rural society, he must resort to the same old ruthless methods. On February 8th, we see Immigration Tango coming to the stream, a comedy starring Ilika Portnoy, Michaela Burnett, and Carlos Leon. An American couple and a foreign couple test the limits of friendship and love when they switch partners and get married for green cards. Immigration Tango is rated R. Also on February 8th is Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer, a family comedy from 2011 starring Jordana Beatty, Heather Graham, and Paris Mosteller. Third grader Judy Moody sets out to have the most thrilling summer of her life. Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer is rated PG. February 10th has one title, that's Beautiful Boy, a drama from 2010 starring Michael Sheen, Maria Bello, and Kyle Gallner. A married couple on the verge of separation are leveled by the news their 18-year-old son committed a mass shooting at his college and then took his own life. Beautiful Boy is rated R. And February 11th brings us Bag of Bones, a horror miniseries from 2011 starring Pierce Brosnan, Melissa George, and Annabeth Gish. Based on the novel of the same name by Stephen King, best-selling novelist Mike Noonan is overcome with grief over the deaths of his wife, Jo, and their unborn child. Writer's block and nightmares force him to return to the couple's former summer home beside a lake in western Maine. While there, he becomes friends with the young widow Maddie and her daughter Kira, and becomes involved in the mother's fierce custody battle with her father-in-law. His ability to write quickly returns, in addition to more nightmares, and both lead to truths about himself and the town. And as always, we'll wrap up our new release slate with Blu-rays from the past. The first one is It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World from 1963, an action-adventure comedy starring Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, and Ethel Merman. The dying words of a thief spark a madcap cross-country rush to find some treasure. It's a Mad, 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 Mad World is rated G. Next on the list is Casino Royale, a spy spoof from 1967 starring David Niven, Peter Sellers, and Ursula Andress. In this early parody, an aging Sir James Bond comes out of retirement to take on SMERSH. Casino Royale is approved by the Motion Picture Association of America in 1967. Next on our list, we have Dangerous Liaisons, a romantic drama from 1988 starring Glenn Close, John Malkovich, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Rich and bored aristocrats in Rococo France play high-stakes games of passion and betrayal. Dangerous Liaisons is rated R. And the final film on our list is A Star is Born, coming to the Kino Classics edition, a musical from 1954 starring Julie Garland, James Mason, and Jack Carson. A young movie star helps a young singer and actress find fame, even as age and alcoholism send his own career into a downward spiral. A Star is Born is rated approved by the Motion Picture Association of America in 1954. Let's wrap this up with 4 items in the Quick Flicks. Remember when I told you that Ridley Scott was going to direct a possible Blade Runner follow-up? What would you think if Harrison Ford was in it? Movie site Twitch Film is reporting that Harrison Ford, who played Deckard in the original, is in, quote, early talks to appear in the new film. They do mention that this is still very early stages, and it's quite possible things won't work out, but that if Ford is being courted for the role, the film will likely be a sequel. The Blade Runner sequel won't happen until 2014 or later. Ridley Scott is wrapping up the Alien prequel Prometheus, and has a couple other projects on the table after that. Universal Studios has announced that principal photography has started in Montreal on the follow-up to 2004's The Chronicles of Riddick. In the press release, they mentioned both the synopsis and the cast. From that release, Diesel reprises his role as the anti-hero Riddick, a dangerous, escaped convict wanted by every bounty hunter in the known galaxy. The infamous Riddick has been left for dead on a sun-scorched planet that appears to be lifeless. Soon, however, he finds himself fighting for survival against alien predators more lethal than any human he's encountered. The only way off is for Riddick to activate an emergency beacon and alert mercenaries who rapidly descend to the planet in search of their bounty. The first ship to arrive carries a new breed of merc, more lethal and violent, while a second is captained by a man whose pursuit of Riddick is more personal. With time running out and a storm on the horizon that no one can survive, his hunters won't leave the planet without Riddick's head as their trophy. Carl Urban, Jordi Mola, Matt Nabel, Katie Sackhoff, and Bokeem Woodbine are the headliners joining Vin Diesel on this newest adventure, and no release date has been set. Dimension Films announced that they hired Matt Lieberman to write the remake of 1986's Short Circuit. Lieberman is a graduate of the Disney screenwriting program and has several unproduced scripts along with uncredited work on several live-action Disney titles. The press release says that the details of the new take are currently being kept under wraps, but the rumor is that Short Circuit is on the fast track to become a family franchise with the Weinstein Company. That's the same company that brought us Spy Kids. Shooting is scheduled for the end of the year, with a release in summer 2013. Earlier this month, I posted the announcement of the Chronic Rift Facebook page, and if you don't like us there, why not? That Warner Brothers would no longer sell their DVDs and Blu-rays to rental services unless they accepted a 56-day delay. You know, that way you could either pay full price for the home release, or wait 2 months to rent it. Well, Redbox said no to that agreement. Redbox has reportedly decided to purchase the movies on DVD and Blu-ray through alternate methods, meaning off-the-shelf retail, and offer the rentals to their customers the very same day. Universal has a similar plan with a 28-day window, and Redbox is up for negotiations with them in April. The report I saw on this noted that some other studios, such as Paramount, have considered methods like this to recoup losses in the home entertainment front, but they concluded that offering same-day rental doesn't affect their disc sales. Fancy that. If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, please take a moment to get in touch. You can surf on over to chronicrift.com and leave a note in the forums. Leave a voicemail at 888-866-9010 or write to John at chronicrift.com. You can follow us on Tumblr, tweet us on Twitter, check into the network on GetGlue, watch the classics on Funny or Die, and leave us a review on iTunes. You can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook and Google+. If you decide to pick up any of this week's new releases, why not do it through our Amazon store? You get the newest entertainment at Amazon's low prices and high-quality service, and each purchase you make through the store supports the Chronic Rift. Look for the link in our show notes. The Weekly Podioplex is a Lucky Shot production and is produced by John S. Drew. This is Michael Falkner. Thanks for listening. I'll see you at the theater. You can surf on over to chronicgrift.com.